What's going on, chat? Welcome back to another episode. Can't say I have the number. It's all Krabs' thing, but it's been a lot of them. We're getting close to 500. Back on a mainly baseball slate today to talk about some winners. We definitely need to get a new intro because I'll tell you what we're not doing right now, fading the Nats bats because they've been hot and I've had tonsils. So honestly, let's get right into the recap, dudes. Pull that shit up. Nationals ML. Just the GOATs, man. The GOATs. I don't sit up here and pat myself in the back for things too often. Krabs does that for me. But if I have the Nationals, just anything, any Nationals related bet on my card, you should probably get involved. Because for whatever reason, they're like when I was betting the Reds in their run last year. I feel like I just have a pretty good grip on that team. So shout out to Nationals for coming through. Bullpen tried to make it a sweat, but end of the day, they came through. So did the O's, Goots. Get your ass up here. Finally, the O's came through.
Colton Cowser.
Legacies. Who was that who gave up
mooing my ass off?
Olsen nuke, dude.
The Olsen nuke, it was who was it? Keegan Aiken.
Dude, that guy's
Fear Aiken,
man. Literally Fear Aiken.
He's been fine, but that was bad.
That was wretched. Gotta be.
I don't know. We had. Do you know anything about Brian Baker?
Yeah, I've heard of him before.
So Orioles fans despise that man, and he was warming up in the bullpen, and we all wanted to keep Aiken in because we don't want Brian Baker in, and I thought that was a bad idea because Olsen's reverse split guy, and he just took him yard. So
yeah, I bet.
I kind of saw it coming, but shout out Colton Cowser.
Yeah, shout out Cowser. Shout out the Orioles finally coming through.
Yes.
Which I guess maybe it was half of them and half just squaring up and taking the Braves because the Braves are rat shit.
Yeah.
I will
Under
continue
was
to fit. Also air.
Yes.
But yeah, shout out the Orioles, Nats, and Paul Goldschmidt for scoring that first run yesterday. Definitely not shout out to the Mavs for that collapse. Half their fault, half not. But 3-2, take those. Certainly take those. Glad we chose well in the squad ride too. We had options. So love that. Honestly, don't want to waste too much time today because we're going to go through the slate, go through the plays. Then on the back end, we're going to talk with Mikey about the Euros. You guys saw some of that on TMA. Trent, I saw you in chat. Feel free to jump up here and give some plays if you want at the start of it. Oh, yeah, we do have King of the Board still. IDOs, Krabs had the 2 no fun unders. Split there, not bad. So we take that. I think we got some plays the rest of the week that I'm going to fill out that with 3 more greens. So pretty excited about the way that's going so far. But yeah, go ahead and flash a sharp report real quick because want to get into it from the start. Talk about these plays, waste no time. Starting off with the over in LA tonight, which I think it's on its way up to 9 some places, but I don't really care. Rangers, Dodgers taking the over there. You have Lorenzen on the bump, which part of the reason I'll just group this into one, but Michael Lorenzen over 5.5 hits allowed. It's grouped into the same thing. This is back-to-back days now for the Rangers against the Dodgers. They had Dane Dunning in game 1, and then they had John Gray yesterday. Neither of them got out of the first inning or the 4th inning. So that bullpen is in absolute shambles right now. They did have, I forget who it was. I think it was Kisner come in for the tail end of game 1 just because they were losing by 75. But still, bullpen as bad as it starts. Now it's really gassed. Now you're going to a series where, I mean, Michael Lorenzen's going to have to give some length. And when he does, he's going to have to fill up the zone a lot. It's not good if you're facing the Dodgers. So I already like his matchup. I definitely like even more that I think that leash is going to be extremely long on him today because it kind of has to, especially with no off day going into tomorrow with another guy pitching who does not usually give them all that much length, which I guess nobody really does for that team right now. So I think the Dodgers score plenty of runs. On the other side, you got 2 guys. Michael Grove, I think, is going to start, and then it's going to be a modified bulk bullpen game. You're probably going to see Ryan Yarbrough too. 2 guys who I think the Rangers can hit up. As long as they don't have a guy like you need to beat with home runs and a lot of power, I think they work out pretty well. So regardless of who they're throwing out for how long, we're going to see Grove. We're probably going to see Yarbrough. I think the Rangers will be fine against those 2 guys. But if the Dodgers want to do the bulk of the scoring there, I would not be shocked in the slightest. So I'm going with that over, which anytime you see 8.5-ish, 9 in LA, it's been printing as of late, unless it's like them against a super inferior team. So I'm taking that, leaning to that more and more, especially like that yesterday soared under after the Dodgers just put up like 15 runs in game one. So I'm in on that. We'll skip the Oilers for now. I'll say that for a bit, but you probably know why I'm on them. We'll stick with the Diamond. Mets team total over 4.5. Don't love seeing Mets team totals on the card really ever, but I like it today because it's a Rodri Munoz fade, which he has been not great recently. I guess, I mean, he hasn't been up for that long, but especially lately, he can't keep the ball on the ground. You can't pitch to lefties. All the things that I think are really bad, especially if you're now going to Citi Field on a hot day with the wind blowing out double digits. I think that's a terrible sign. Great sign for hitters like Lindor, who I was going to put his run up here on the card, but it turned from a regular square to a goblin, which is very, very telling, I think. So I'm probably going to have something Lindor on the card, but it didn't make this. Good for guys like Lindor, good for guys like Nimmo, good for guys like DJ Stewart, assuming he's in the lineup today. So I think the Mets score runs. Bullpen's been a little better from the Marlins, but Munoz doesn't really give them much depth in the games. So I think they get the bulk of the damage done off of him. But if they need to go into the bullpen, which is a little gas right now too, don't hate that either. So I'm in on the Mets offense today. Crazy saying, but today I think they absolutely fuck up Munoz and whoever they put in for the Marlins after him. And then last square, Nelson Velasquez, more than a run. Funny seeing it up on the board. It is a high total, so you're going to see a bunch more squares on the board. But yeah, this is up after 3 straight bagels. He is a noted lefty killer. So I do think it's hard to believe the Royals are just going to get run over again. So even though I do think they lose this game, I don't think it's going to be nearly as easy as it's been. And the one guy who I think could do it is the lefty killer who's in there against Nestor Cortez pitching on the road. So he's going to try and run in a bunch of cutters on him. Nelson Velasquez can pull his hands in. The run squares up for a reason, even though there's quite a few guys who are at like the same price, but you don't see them on the board. So I think he bops one over the wall. But if all else fails, I think the Royals do score a couple runs off of Nestor today, and I think he's going to be involved. So that's a square. You can flash the Lorenzen one again real quick. Goots. Yeah, that's what we're looking at chart-wise for that. I think he hasn't really, like a lot of the red ones are in the first 4. He hasn't had the same leash that I think he's going to have today, which is a lot of the reason why I'm taking it. I think he gets destroyed. Even if his leash was the same, I'd probably take the square as is, but you're getting 3 2/3 from Dane Dunning and like 3 2/3 from John Gray as well, somewhere around that in the last 2 days with the bullpen getting destroyed. You're going to have to go out there and pitch a gem against the Dodgers and probably give them minimum 6, you would think, unless the pitch count gets absolutely out of control, which even if it does, like they've pulled them a couple of times to like high 80s, low 90s, sometimes pitch count, even shorter, depending on the situation. I don't think they're going to be able to do that today. I think he's going to have to get high 90s, maybe 100, depending on the situation. But yeah, I think the Dodgers tap him up today. So that's that. And then can circle. I'll wait a bit for the Oilers. We'll talk about that in a second. But now just go through the card. Bring up the lines. How are we feeling about Ozuna today? I'm not betting on the Braves, man. Goots, how you feeling about Ozuna?
I mean, he looked like rat shit last night. So, and he got all pissed at the ump. So who knows?
I'm betting on the Braves. Really ever.
Yeah,
I've been
I wouldn't
thinking
either.
a couple weeks. The only thing I'll make an exception for, which I guess it is technically on the card for today, but I'm not taking it, is Ozzy Albies against the lefty. I'm not betting on any other Brave or just the Braves in general. I'm fading them unless they're.
Unless
I
they
guess Max
prove,
Fried too.
unless they prove they can actually hit. There's no reason to bet
There's
on
no
them.
point. They haven't proved they could hit
Yeah.
for 2 fucking months. So I mean, I'm
But
out.
that Cole Irvin dud is probably incoming. Who knows when that'll be? But
It's probably coming. Yeah.
yeah,
It's just like every single time one of those pitchers faces the Braves, and it's always like, oh, he's got, which I think Cole Irvin literally does today. He's got a weird 2.5 earned run square after he should have gone over against the Rays, but it was changed from an. Yeah, and it's just there's always weird squares against the Braves, and they never hit because they suck. They're bad.
Yeah. Might just be
so
another
good.
legacy star from him.
Just kind of do. So you want to O's money line today, Goods?
Yeah, for sure. Bet of the day.
Bet of
Lock
the
it
day.
in, be rich. Literally free money every time.
No, -1.5 is crazy.
I mean, I'll lock that in with -3.5. So confident.
That might be a donkey. Might be a donkey. Yeah, so needless to say,
Trent,
I'd love
I
to take the Oilers, but I'm not.
Trent
They're the
asked me for
Oilers.
an Orioles square earlier, but you already locked in Connor. But I like Adley today, so do something with him.
Might be Adley. I like that
Yeah.
matchup. Could be
Yeah.
the difference. So yeah, that's where I'm at for that game. Really not touching it for the day games. Really don't want to touch the next one either because Casey Mize like technically fits like the system that I've been taking the Nationals on. So like in a sense, I think the bats should be able to get to him, but I don't take the Nationals with Patrick Corbin on the mound, even though it is day game Corbin, where he's been significantly better really his entire career. And I think recently, maybe last couple starts, he had another day game start where he pitched kind of well. So like on paper, I mean, the Tigers should win this game. Can't say I trust them enough to lay minus 155, minus 160. So I'm definitely kind of good. And yeah, he's been not great. Had a solid start, but nothing's really there anymore. So I don't know. On paper, it's a tough one for both these pitchers, but I'd be lying if I said this early day game Twitter POD over with Patrick Corbin involved literally ever goes well. So I'm good on that, to say the least. Could move to the next game, which I think is the Royals game. Yeah, I don't really have much there either. I like the Yankees, but I'm not laying it because the Royals have to show a pulse in this series at some point. Been waiting for it, and maybe it's today, maybe it's not. I do think at the very least they show a pulse with their bats. It's just hard to trust Alec Marsh. So, like, for taking all the goats in the Royals lineup today, like I think that's not a bad idea. I mean, I'm taking Nelson Velasquez, which is far from that, but Bobby Witt, Salvi, all those guys. They destroy lefties at home. That's really been their mantra all season. Gotten cold at some points, but now they seem to be back on that trend again. I do think they hit him up pretty well, but Alec Barsh and that bullpen, that's an absolute rat shit, like I've been talking about. It's hard to put coin on that for the full game. So I mean, maybe an over after it burned everybody yesterday, because it was the highest total I guess we've seen outside of Coors. I think it was at 11 at a point. Might go back to it today. Maybe you should, but fuck that game respectfully. Pirates cards, Mitch Keller, Lance Lynn. I would love to just fade Mitch Keller, especially in the spot where the Cardinals bats actually weirdly match up kind of well against him. We've just been waiting on the Mitch Keller blowout for so long. It's difficult to kind of expect it, but another one where like it's a hot day. It's been a hot day like the last couple games in St. Louis. And now you're getting a day game start with the wind blowing out a little bit there too. So maybe not the best situation for him, but definitely not the best situation for Lance Lynn either. Even though like he's cut down fly balls, he's cut down fastballs, getting hit hard a lot more than he did last year. So he's been a little different of a pitcher, but I would be lying if I said I am not deathly afraid if I were to be betting the Cardinals of a cruise missile off of Lance Lynn. If you're talking about one of those guys that matches up perfectly and is going to see a lot of fastballs and just has to run into one of them, it's probably going to be O'Neal Cruz. So I would probably going to take that square, find a pair for that. But I really don't like much. If you don't get the theme of today's slate, it's very slim, but I really don't like all that much. That's why the sharp report's probably the focus. But there are some pitchers that you can definitely target on the feed or on the slate. I don't think Justin Steele and Taj Bradley or either of them. So keep me away from that. I think this game, it's already gone 8-7. Probably an under game. Justin Steele. I have liked the Rays lineup against lefties as of late. It's been really picking up. They've been like a top 5 team against lefties in the last like 2 weeks. But I think Justin Steele's kind of a tough matchup for them because he's going to force them to just keep it on the ground. And especially with a couple of those guys seeming to cool down just a little bit, a couple of those guys not named Jose Siri, I find it pretty tough to believe they're really going to touch up Justin Steele today. If you're going to get any runs in this game, I would assume it's going to be a Taj Bradley Turk pitch to, I don't know, Happ, Suzuki, Bellinger, one of the main guys, maybe Morel, throw him in there too. But I guess you probably want a lefty against Taj Bradley. So I think this is low scoring, close to the series. Not really expecting too much more. But that's really about it. Phillies and Red Sox, I got to say, like this total being an 8.5 is really weird to me because feels like an 8. Feels like it should be an 8 spot, especially with what the Red Sox offense has done lately. I mean, short line for the Phillies, you can argue too, even as well as Tanner Houck has pitched. And yeah, I've seen his PP squares. They all look really weird. I think he gives up his fair share, but I think Nola does too. So I'm probably going to end up on the over in this game because I do think the one, I don't know, silver lining for the Red Sox, I guess, is that they're not facing a lefty. And even though they did get to Christopher Sanchez toward the end of his start yesterday, it wasn't like a clean game all the way through. It's kind of they got to him in bunches, and they've been terrible against lefties. But now they're going to stack a couple of lefties that I think can do damage against Aaron Nola. So I do kind of lean the Red Sox in that game. I guess I'm still kind of deciding between the over and the Red Sox, but something's going to happen there. Maybe the over is a little better of a move because I don't know if I can entirely trust Hauk, especially with those weird squares on the board, but it is a Phillies tax as well. So got to keep that into perspective. I'll figure out what the play is there. Mets, I've already told you my play. Munoz is definitely a guy I want to fade in a hot day in Citi Field with the wind blowing out, especially with the amount of fly balls that he allows. I think he's like sub 5th percentile, probably even lower, super, super low. And all qualified pitchers in ground ball rate. So he quite literally does not keep the ball on the ground. And last start out, like he wasn't terrible. Like the stuff's not awful, but he cannot pitch to lefties. He really struggled against the Guardians. I think he gave up a home run to J-Ram, Naylor, struggled with a couple of lefties like Jimenez, if I remember correctly, and Manzardo, I think, had a rope off him too. So I do think that's going to be problems for him. And a couple of the righties walk a decent bit for the Mets too, which also is his problem. So I think you get Turks off of, I don't know, Rodri Munoz really, really early in this game, which could be the difference. Can keep moving through these. A's Twins, I don't really have anything. Joe Ryan, like, if you've been looking at strikeouts, I assume everybody has. It's Twitter POD every single day. A decent pitcher faces the A's. I mean, they've been striking out a ridiculous amount against right-handed pitching lately. It's probably going to be the same thing today. Joe Ryan should dice them. Does he give up a turkey or two? Maybe he does, which is probably why the total is at 8.5, not a 8, or God forbid even lower. But yeah, I haven't gotten like a too big of a Twitter POD feel for Joe Ryan today necessarily, which could be good because I think that's a matchup, Twitter POD or not, I would kind of stick with there. Do think he pitches well on the strikeout front. Maybe he gives up a Turk or two, so fantasy score. Maybe not the best option there, but I do like him to pitch a pretty solid game. I would not be touching the A's or A's plus 1.5 today. I'll tell you that. Medina is also god awful, but he's coming off of like giving up 6. Probably not going to happen again. But yeah, we can move back. Crochet, Castillo, White Sox, Mariners. I mean, it's a low total. It's damn near touching 6. The problem here is I will die on this hill, which again, it's not a crazy take if you've actually like watched them, which not many people have over the past like 2 weeks, really since Luis Robert has been back. The White Sox offense has not been bad at all. The problem is their bullpen, and hopefully like some of that's alleviated with, I don't know, Garrett Crochet on the bump today. He has a lefty facing the Mariners where they've been significantly better, but like the White Sox lineup, I think, can bop a little bit against Luis Castillo, which doesn't really mean much. Like they could put up 2-3 runs really against him, which still could be a quality start, and his eyes there, and he could qualify for the win, whatever. But I have a hard time believing that Luis Castillo is going to go out there and shut down this White Sox lineup right now. This is, as long as there's no crazy omissions. I think it's the getaway game, late game, whatever. Maybe they rest a guy. Who knows? But like Luis Castillo, I think, has a tougher time against the White Sox today than people think, especially because like they've been scoring runs. Luis Robert's been good in spots, like hitting home runs. Like they've had guys at the top of the lineup that have been pesky, but they're also just not striking out. So like if they make Luis Castillo work, that's when we've seen the Turks. And trust me, I'm all about not backing shitty teams' bats in Seattle of all places. But with a 6.5 total, maybe it's a good little buy low spot. That's something I might consider there. I mean, the back of the bullpens, really, you've seen crazy sell drops and the entire series, mostly from the White Sox. So if that's in play too, I think this 6.5 total is too low. Usually I would say it's like super indicative of what to expect. We've seen this a lot with Crochet starts. We're definitely going to see that in Seattle as well, big time pitchers park. So I don't hate that at all. I think we get a couple runs. It could end 4-3, and I wouldn't be shocked with a little Mariners walk-off. Castillo can give up 4, but he's still getting 8 Ks. I don't know. I don't like taking Ks against the White Sox right now. They're just they're putting the ball in play. And I have a feeling against Castillo, they're going to be super aggressive from the jump, which would be the smart play for them. So that's kind of where I'm at. Koenig fought. Keep me away from this game on paper. At least Koenig should get destroyed, but we've seen this time and time again. The matchups where he should get destroyed the most, he never really does. Fought, I think, can pitch kind of well. We just saw like the Angels against a couple of lefties in this series, and they held their own, or at least against Monty, they held their own. Didn't really blow him up necessarily, but that's where they're at their best. Yesterday, they got a little streak of offense as well after Ron Washington called them out. So I think that was their one game. Definitely kind of leaning an under here, but it's more just because I've seen how these games go, and it's giving me PTSD. So keep me away from that. And then tuck me in peace. Talked about this. This is the over that I'll go to in the Rangers-Dodgers game. It's not really a bullpen game, but it really kind of is. You're going to see Lorenzen and Grove for, I don't know, like bulk guy type starts. Lorenzen is going to go a lot longer because he has to. But again, Rangers bullpen is in moose because they've been using everybody in this entire series. Michael Grove, who knows how long he's just going to go. I would assume it's going to be like 4. And then they'll bring in Yarborough for, I don't know, 3 maybe. And then who knows what it's going to be after that. I think these lineups match up really, really well to get through all of these pitchers, really, whoever they throw at them. So I'm in on runs, late nights in LA. And then here comes Trent with Justin Henry Malloy. Here on RBI, POD, and SBR is splooging. Or maybe not, because he doesn't want them on that. We need a Goots POD. That's what we need. Goots non-Orioles POD. That's what I'm requesting from you by the time this stream is over. I need you to get in lab. Get in lab and give me a non-Orioles POD. And Trent, get your ass up here too so we can craft a slip. Not with that, though. Absolutely not with that, man. You got to be better than that. But, yeah, that's how I feel about those games. I do want to get the Euros talk in for a little bit before we see Trent come in. And we can go to back to the baseball slate and back to the squad ride towards the end of this. So, Goots, go ahead and bring that up. Feel free to bring Mikey up as well. Mr. Overs.
Yo. How we doing?
How we doing? You locked?
Good. How are you?
Locked. As always.
Let's go, dude. So, all right. What are we looking at here?
We have graphics for all the groups. Just give me your general thoughts. I heard you talk about you riding with England in the Euros.
Yep. So I was born there, so it's more of an emotional bet. But if I was betting outside of England to win the Euros, I feel like I tried to pick 2 teams that I can not only trust the defense, but I also feel like have some creativity. And I feel like that's what wins you these tournaments. When you think about France winning the World Cup, Argentina winning the World Cup, and teams like that have success, it's all about creativity. And I love Portugal. I think, I talked to Dave a little bit about it. It's a little square to like Portugal, but Ronaldo basically having no wear and tear and scoring 2 goals in their last friendly. I mean, like he just might be dialed in. And I love that spot. And then I like Netherlands, dude. I want to lean on that Netherlands defense, to be honest with you.
I just can't get with the Dutch, man.
I know, dude. I can't get with England, dude. They sell every chance they get.
Yeah. The thing with the Dutch is like, yeah, they're solid defensively. It's just I can't trust them to score, especially in that group. Like I just cannot see them scoring goals, which is my whole problem with them. So like maybe they get through. Maybe they get through and they get a good draw, but I'm very anti-Dutch in this tournament. I'll tell you that.
So who are you keying in on?
I'm sticking with my gut that I've had gut ride for the last couple months, taking Germany on home soil, which that's like it's part tonsils play, part not. I've only ever been like I'm not a huge like futures guy when it comes to these tournaments, but I've only ever been like super fixated on one for a while before this, and it was Argentina in the World Cup, which was crazy because how I bet, and that's a button that is really, really hard to push. But
really hard to push.
I was stuck on that for a while, came through, love that. I've been stuck on Germany for a while just because it feels like, I mean, they're the team that nobody likes. They're the team that's not sexy, but they're the team that's very advanced analytics and all the tactical shit. So like what do you get from the new hire with Nagelsmann is like I see like an Eric Spoelstra comp, which I mean, I love. Obviously, it's my team, but
yeah,
they're a team that I think can get through this, and they don't have the easiest draw, I would say, both in the group stage and what the path it would take to get there. But I trust the personnel they have. I trust all the tactics. I've been watching them closely in all their friendlies because that was when I first started like learning about all the stuff like in the first qualifying section, and I've been watching it. I've been keeping up with it. I'm kind of excited. It won't be sexy. I don't think they're going to go out there and score 50 million goals, but I think they're going to play tight with every single team they face. They also did like pretty well against a lot of like the higher paced attacking teams and a lot of the friendlies. So
I mean, you know what you're getting with Germany. They just play like the German style of football. Like they don't make mistakes. They don't make errors. It's never pretty. They kind of just like beat you into submission with the way that they play. They're not going to play that Brazilian, Argentinian, even I would say the Portuguese style of soccer where it's like everything's creative, everything's free flowing. Like Germany is very strict in the way they move. They're very strict in the way they pass the ball. And I don't think you can ever go wrong with the Germany team, to be honest with you. I do think it's interesting that Italy and Spain are kind of up there, even though they're in what I would consider to be the group of death. Like one of them might not make it out with Croatia in there as well. Like Croatia's another sneaky team for whatever reason on every international stage they show up. And I just saw a tweet that the Italy manager is not allowing any video games, no phones on the massage table, no midnight games, like is keeping them on a military style schedule, which I feel like never works.
Yeah. I feel like especially for that team, it's not what you really want. It's just like, I don't know. I'm definitely not a big Spain or Italy believer necessarily. If I were to take like not a super long shot, but anybody out of like the big 6 or 7, let's call it, it would probably be Croatia. I think that group's going to get really weird. And
I do too.
We'll talk about that in a second when we go through the groups. But yeah, it's a tough road. I am kind of with you on Portugal though. That's kind of my biggest worry, should be my biggest worry as far as Germany goes, if they are to meet in the semis, which seems to be the most likely course of action. But they're rolling right now. They're going to get a bunch of teams that are willing to run with them. So I don't hate that shout. I'm a huge Bruno guy this tourney though.
Dude, not even Bruno. I love Vitinha, the kid on PSG. He looked phenomenal in the Champions League, and the fact that he gets to play with Bruno, that's going to be bustos.
That might be bustos.
Like that's literally bustos.
Literally bustos. They had Bruno up for like goals and assists for a while, and it was gone. That was about to be my donkey square for
that could be a donk, dude.
The soccer entry, but
that could be a donk. Have you looked at the squares, or do you want to go through the groups? What do you want to do?
We'll go through the groups, circle back to the squares for a little bit because I know you've done a lot of talking on that already.
No, let's do it.
Yeah, starting Group A and go to that. Goots starts with Germany, Switzerland, Hungary, Scotland. I heard through the grapevine, aka I watched TMA this morning, kind of a Scotland guy.
Dude, I'm only a Scotland guy because I feel like they're a team that in this group, I feel like is going to get written off pretty quickly, but they got some guys, dude. Like John McGinn played really well this year in the Premier League. They lean on Andy Robertson a lot on that left back position. They even play him in midfield sometimes. And I like Che Adams up top. Like when I looked at their starting 11s and their friendlies, like they're just like a sneaky team. I think they get out of it. I'm going to take them +1.5 if they give me that on the books against Germany, because I could just see them for whatever reason keeping that game close. But they're a team that I love to get out of this group, and then they probably get their break speed off in the knockout stages. But I don't know. When I look at this group, I'm really underwhelmed with Switzerland. I'm really underwhelmed with Hungary. I just feel like Scotland, I mean, is obviously on the books as well, the clear number 2 to get out of this group. But I think they're going to make a little noise, dude.
Yeah, I could see it to a degree. It's just like I have trouble with them against Switzerland and Hungary because, I mean, they can keep it close with Germany. I think that opening game is going to be a snoozer. I wouldn't be shocked if that's 0-0 after 45. But Switzerland and Hungary are going to play just open, and I don't think that works for Scotland, especially like I think Hungary is like a lot of people's favorite sleeper underdog to make it through, I guess, this group. And
people are big on Hungary?
Kind of, yeah. People are big on Hungary. I don't necessarily disagree because I mean it's tough at the back line for them because I mean defensively they're so bad, but I mean they're going to make Scotland very uncomfortable with their style of play, and then Switzerland is 100% willing to go forward with them at every chance they get. So I mean those games are going to be crazy. So I'm not really sure what to do. I will say though I did look at the Switzerland-Hungary line for that game. I think that's the first group stage, or it is the first group stage game because it's Germany-Scotland. That probably looks like the trappiest line I would say of the first games, that total. And it should be set at like 3 damn near, and it's 2.25. So I can tell you that's probably going to be 1-1. But
yeah, I love +1.5. I don't know if it's going to be juice. I don't know if they're even going to put it up, but I don't know, dude. Just looking at this, I'm paying attention. I'm just on my phone because I'm looking at their final 2024. Like, dude, that Scotland midfield is literally built to just absorb. Like Billy Gilmore, Scott McTominay, John McGinn. Like, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
McTominay my bust in this tournament.
He might
He
bust,
got-
dude. I can
I
see
think
Billy
got-
Gilmore busting too, dude. He's a guy that's been trying to fight for his spot as well on the main stage after being like a Chelsea youth product, pretty much being told he's going to be the next Chelsea guy. But so are you saying you like a Hungary to advance out of Group A?
Yeah, kind of. They're definitely one of the 4 potential third place teams that I'm keeping my eye on. But I do think like the path to second is not crazy, especially if they get that draw against Switzerland, which I think is not crazy to say in that first game. So, wow, Albie's double. That TV was fucking air. Fucking air. Should have taken that.
I took.
Who are you taking in the Euros, Trent? People need to know.
Yeah, get him up here.
I don't know, dude.
You got to get in the lab, bro. Starts tomorrow.
I know. I need a series. I need a season whale. I need a futures whale. It'll be figured out before I go to sleep.
Yeah, get in the lab, man.
Yeah, I would love to talk series squares with you, Jovan, once we're done with the groups.
Surely. Talk to me about Spain. Thoughts on Spain?
Dude, I was literally just looking at this, dude. I don't think they advanced, dude. This Spain team is just like the fact that again they're going with Morata up top. Not that they have many other options, but he is just an all-time sell the bag guy in a big spot. Like him being up for 2 goals is just like insane to me because he is all-time like Fernando Torres at Chelsea, wide open goal, wide right, over the top. Like he's just not a guy that I trust to get the job done, and I feel like this Spain team is just moose.
I'm just not excited for them, dude. It's just like,
Not at all.
especially in this group, because like, I mean, the one thing I have always sworn myself off of is if there's a crazy story in the Euros with a team getting there, aka like Iceland when they did their shit, which Albania is clearly not Iceland, but I don't fade those. So like Albania's in the group, they can make shit weird. They're not going to beat Spain, but it is what it is. Croatia's been here, done that before. They always find a way. Italy's solid defensively, just like the Spain go forward with no clear direction. I feel like that gets them into trouble in this group a little bit. But I mean, they have the pieces pretty much everywhere. It's just I don't know if it's enough to trust them.
They just never seem to be able to put it together though. Since like the Sergio Ramos days where they were like free to win World Cups, like it just seems like and they're still super young too. Like Pedri's going to get a lot of minutes and he's still young. I mean, he's definitely established, but dude, I'm more excited for Italy in this group because after not making it, I think they didn't qualify for the World Cup, correct?
No.
And I don't know if they qualified for the Euros before that.
Don't know if I remember that.
But they're already on a tournament drought, and I feel like this might be a good spot to pick Italy up at. But again, we talked about it. Like I just saw that tweet about what their coach and manager is trying to set up for the players and almost treating it like a military camp. If I'm betting on Italy, I need them to be having wine at 9 p.m. the night after games, the night before games. I need them to be relaxed, smoking cigs, maybe. Like I can't have an Italian team that's being treated like they're in a military camp.
Yeah, that's not great. But I'll tell you what I am surely taking.
Yeah, please.
Albania scoring against them in that first game, which I think the overall feel of this group, the consensus seems to be that there's going to be not a single goal in any of these games. I think Albania, even though Italy, I think wins that game, and I think they'd come back and drop 3 straight. I think there's going to be more in that game than you think. Albania is a good counterattacking team, and I think Italy is going to give them quite a few chances to do that. So like I was looking at a plus check bet take with a dog in some of these games, but that just might be it.
Wow. You think Albania is the first plus chick?
I don't know if it's the first plus chick to win, but I think they're scoring a goal, which is plus chick.
Wow. I could see it. I mean, again, you're right. Like fading those narratives never work in these stages.
Never, dude.
Never, dude. Like never. Dude.
Literally never. But you know what else certainly does not pay fading Croatia. And I don't want to do that in this tournament either.
No.
Especially like I think they have a hell of a chance to get a draw in that first game against Spain too, at the very least. And that sets them up really well. Like I think Spain will make it through, but I wouldn't be shocked if they're third in this group.
Dude, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Would not be shocked in the slightest, bro. Not in the slightest.
And dude, again, like Croatia's just a team that's gonna have guys that like you're like, dude. Like Modric has barely played for Real Madrid this year, but for no reason, I guarantee you he comes out in this tournament just like bustos.
Probably.
Like again.
I mean, the clock is kind of ticking on that core.
For sure.
Maybe it's ticked too much at this point, but experience, especially in that group, I think will carry them. So I'm with it. They are literally a team that is built for a tournament like this.
I agree.
So,
I agree. I'm not
yeah,
fading
first
Croatia
round.
one time in this group stage.
No, I'm gonna be backing them. They haven't been like that impressive, but I think they're gonna pick it up in this tournament specifically. Let's go to the next one, Goots. Group C and D.
Gucci.
Goots cooking.
Literally cooking.
England.
Oh, dude.
Talk to me.
Like, here's the thing. I've spent a lot of time in England, and I was there when they went on that World Cup run and eventually lost in the semis. Or the Euro run, sorry. And, dude, I'm betting them to win it all. I'm going to be riding them the hardest. But if there was ever a fucking group that scares me the most, it's whenever England is in a spot where they're expected to win. When the expectation is that England is going to come out and they're meeting a France and they're meeting a whatever, and they have to play up to a level, that's the best England. When you have an England team that has to play Serbia, Slovenia, and Denmark, and they go into it thinking they've already advanced, England loves to play down to their opponent. And that's why they lose in every big game and in every big spot, and even in small spots. So, I wouldn't be shocked if they only win 2 of those games. I really wouldn't be that shocked, because England against, I guarantee you, Slovenia will come out flat, play down to their opponent. It'll be 0-0, and then maybe Slovenia gets one, and then it's like, oh, shit, we got to turn the brakes on. We got to make 3 subs in a row. I don't know, dude. I'm really nervous for them because they can never get over the hump, dude.
Yeah, it feels like all the pressure's on now. That's the favorites. It's just
so much pressure, dude.
I don't think they'll have too much trouble getting out of this group necessarily, just because I don't know if I trust them defensively yet. And
Not
I don't
at
know if you're
all,
on the
dude.
same wavelength, but if it was offenses that are a little more dynamic than Denmark, Serbia, and Slovenia, I would be a little more worried, but I don't think that's the real challenge for them. I do like Serbia though, and I'm very biased in that because I'm a big Mitrovic, Milinkovic, Savic, even Vlahovic guy, but I don't know. That's a team that I would be a little scared to face if I'm Denmark. I think that game's gonna be really good. I wouldn't be surprised if Serbia gets 3 points out of that. But
dude, I agree.
Other than that, I would love to fade England. I just in group don't know if I can do it.
I think the fading of England's going to come in the knockout stages when they have to play a team that's up to snuff. And almost I know it might not make a lot of sense, but I'd almost prefer there to be one other heavyweight in a group of a team that I'm betting on. I love that I have Netherlands to win it all, and I have to watch them play France. That's where you set your temperature. And England playing 3 teams that are pretty unimpressive to me, that doesn't really test their resolve, is a nightmare scenario. I love that when you get a team like Netherlands, you get to see their temperature playing a France, who's the second favorite. And you get to see how they respond when they're playing a team that's going to put the pressure on them and they have to play out of the back and they have to be able to move quick. I hate that England also has no temperature check in their group.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if I like that. It just keeps them sleepwalking if they really want to through the group.
That's what I'm saying. And the way I want to bet too is right. England -1.5 are going to be the only bets you're going to get against any of these teams. I don't know if they cover a single -1.5.
Yeah, you might not be wrong.
Which is moose.
That's kind of lose-lose situation.
Tell me why you don't like Netherlands in Group D after Poland's injuries. Poland was the only team I was worried about.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Poland, not that they can't score. Let's just talk about that. They can't score right now. They've got all the injuries. I think that's not a question. They're defensively fine. So I think they're in a similar situation, definitely much worse, but to the Dutch, to where all these games, if there's anybody that I'm really keeping my eye on, not named France in this group, I think it's Austria. I'm an Austria fan.
Really?
There's any third place team or just team that I feel very strongly, if they do end up third, being the one to advance in this group, I think it's Austria. So I like Austria, but yeah, I mean, Netherlands are not dealing with nearly as many injuries as Poland, but I mean, they have no De Jong, which is big. I just can't trust them to score goals. Defensively, they'll be fine, but I don't think that's enough.
Dude, I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot of faith in Simons, Gakpo, and Memphis. I just feel like that's a front 3 that I think is going to surprise a lot of Xavi Simons was so good this year in the Bundesliga. And I also think this is a Dutch team where you're going to get some production out of the fullbacks now. Frimpong, I guarantee is going to be a starter against France. I think they have some guys now that are chance creators. And their defense, I don't know if their defense is ever going to let in more than one goal.
Yeah,
I
the
seriously
thing
don't
is,
know.
like, the situations where I really worry about them. Like, it honestly is Poland, because what is Poland going to do? They're gonna put 10 guys behind the ball
That's
for
true.
the entire 90 minutes. So, like,
That's
for a Dutch team that I think struggles in a normal situation, that is one where I think they trip up. And like Austria can do the same thing, especially if they go up early. Definitely a little better offensively, but I don't know. It's just I can't get with the Dutch in this tournament. I really can't.
I'm just getting with them because I have so much faith in that defense. I think defense wins you championships at the end of the day. And the fact that I get to rely on Big Virgil and Nathan Ake in the back, like, and I can get Frimpong too. I don't hate it at all, dude. Like, I really don't. Like, I think this Netherlands team is going to shock some people, dude. Like, I really do think they are. They just beat the shit out of Canada. Like, they're putting up goals.
Yeah. I mean, I just wouldn't. I'll say if they do get through, I mean, they're a pretty draw dependent team. So, like, if they do get a good one and then at least the first round of the knockout stage, then like, fine. I could see them winning a game. It's just hard to trust them. I don't know anyone further than that. That's just my thing.
Yeah, no, I don't. Listen, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I think it's tough that they lost Frankie de Jong to injury. Like, that's moose shit. But I don't know. I like this Netherlands team for some reason. I'm kind of in on them.
That's fair. That's fair. And what are your thoughts about France?
I mean, they're just like auto too at this point. Like, I mean, Mbappe is just so fucking good. They're so deep at every position. Like, they're going to be in the semis or the final. That's just where my head is at. Like, if you're taking France, I don't think there's a bad bet on the board. Like, they're just like, if they could just win again, like they might just be a walkthrough to win at this point.
Theoretical, but also probably pretty likely France-England semis matchup. What are you doing?
I'm taking England.
I know,
tonsils,
man.
I know.
Just tonsils.
I know, dude. But do I think anyone on that England defense can stop Mbappe? No.
Trent, get in the fucking bin, man. I'm done.
What do you do?
All caps in chat, man.
What do you do?
No way we're putting Goat Whale 100 fly ball in chat, all caps.
I legit said out 0.2 seconds after.
Dude.
Fucking bet, man. I
This
literally
guy,
fucking
man.
bet. I literally fucking bet. I'm done. I'm literally done.
I literally fucking bet.
Go to Group E and F, Goots. I'm done with this bozo, man.
I'm done with this bozo. It's crazy.
Group E is Moose.
You talk to me about Group E. I feel like Belgium is another one. Like, I don't trust Lukaku as far as I could throw him, and he's a grown man that's like 6'2", a couple 100 pounds. I can't throw him very far. But Belgium is a team that, dude, since I was in high school, it's always like, this could be Belgium's year. They got Hazard, they got De Bruyne, and they never put it together. Like, they just can never figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a cakewalk of a group for them. Like,
yeah.
I think Ukraine could be decent. They're just not like offensively potent enough. They have some good young players. So, like, out of like the three teams, Ukraine, Romania, and Slovakia, I'm definitely most excited to watch Ukraine. But like,
I agree.
I don't know if Romania is going to score a single goal in this tournament.
I don't think so.
Like, it's just so bad beyond that. It's like, even if Belgium's not like incredibly impressive in the group stage, like they're going to get through pretty easily. So,
do you think this could be the lowest scoring group?
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think Group D is the favorite.
Yeah. Only problem, I guess, is Romania may not score, but you just got to hope Belgium doesn't run the score up too much on them.
That's true.
I have a nugget on Romania.
Do you?
I used to work with some Romanians, and they were very excited about the Euros a couple months back. And they told me to not sleep on Romania on their team. They said they've been working hard.
Wow.
Dude,
so the Romanians said to not sleep on Romania?
Yeah.
I feel like I could have put A and B together on that one.
That means they're mushits.
Yeah.
I kind of like that narrative, though. Maybe we don't sleep on Romania because the Romanians are juice, dude. This could be the year.
Romanians are great people as well.
They definitely are.
Hey, I don't doubt that, but I'll be fading them. I'll tell you that. If I'm not sleeping on anybody not named Belgium, it's Ukraine.
I like Ukraine too, Jovan. I think they're sneaky.
They are sneaky, and like I think they're going to get through. And if they do get through, I feel like that's a team that could potentially be a giant killer come knockout round if they get a good draw. So Ukraine's my team there. Group F. This is the Mikey Overs group right here.
This is literally Mikey Overs group.
Literally Mikey Over. I think I'm going to take the over in damn near every match in this group.
Every match.
Every match. This is my highest scoring group right here.
Like I think
all
by
these
far.
all these teams like Turkey, Czech Republic, Georgia, just kind of by force, not any of their own doing, but like they're all going to play super open games with Portugal. And they're going to want to.
Super
Czech Republic's going to do it with pretty much everybody. Georgia can't defend, and they're going to have to by choice. Turkey can play a little more solid on the back when they want to, but we haven't really seen that in the lead up in qualifying just yet. So like Portugal's going to be busting, dude.
Dude, I agree. Like, dude, this might be the best Portugal team we've ever seen. Just being honest, like, there's not a single position that doesn't have a sub that plays in one of the big 5 leagues. Like, and they have some of the guys are playing at their peak. I mean, Bruno Fernandes might be one of the best midfielders in the world right now.
Yeah, and he's going to have a fucking whale of a tournament, I think. I think he's going to be fucking CP3.
Dude, that midfield, if they commit to putting him in the middle of Bernardo Silva, Fernandez, and Vitinha, like that might be the best midfield in the entire tournament.
It could be busting.
Like this is going to be disgusting.
Stenson Bennett might have a really good Euros.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett for Georgia.
Stetson Bennett for Georgia might have a good. Oh, that's so good.
That would be crazy.
That's
but yeah,
so
I'm gonna be whaling some overs in this group. Sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the series squares.
Yeah, let's hop into those because we're through the
Portugal.
groups.
Well, who's your other favorite to get out of this group? Because I might lean towards a sneak not Turkey.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see it sneak not Turkey. It might be the Czechs for me.
That's what I think too, dude.
I mean, they've looked good in the lead up, like, and a lot of it was without Schick too. So like, I have no problem in these open games saying they can score goals and be the main beneficiary of that. But yeah, Daniel St. George, I wouldn't sleep on Georgia either, just because I think they can match the play of both those teams. But yeah, I like the Czechs. I'm down with the Czechs.
Sneaky group that's going to have a ton of goals.
Yeah, one thing like you're saying, like right here, like they're going to press the shit out of the ball, which is not going to work against Portugal, but against Turkey, who I think we've seen that a couple times in qualifying. Turkey's been fucking moose anytime they've gotten pressed by any team. They turn the ball over like hell. Czechs can cause some problems. Definitely going to cause Georgia problems as well, but those games will be good. But
I just love teams like the Czech Republic that like aren't a top 10, 15 team, but their style of play is just like, you know, they're going to press the shit out of you because they've got the engines for it. They've got the tanks for it. And like that, those kind of teams are like watching Liverpool in 2018, 2019, when we just played heavy metal football. Like that is like the best teams to watch. Like when they're just all out pressing the minute they lose possession, like those games are going to be fun.
Yeah, especially when your team that presses like that, where a solid amount of your core has been there before too.
Yeah,
that's like those are the teams that I want to trust with my coin. But
I agree.
Yeah, I'm in on the Czechs.
We don't talk about this long, but the Golden Boot. What about a little sprinkle on Romelu Lukaku?
Dude, I watched him in the Europa League, Goots, and like, if he loses one dribble in the first 5 minutes, if he misplaces one shot in the first 5 minutes, he's a mental head case gone for the rest of the game.
I feel like that's always been the problem with him.
Yeah, I agree, which is why it's like Golden Boot. That if that first game he's takes 4 shots, only one's on target, and it gets saved, he might not score a goal the whole tournament. Like he is just he loves to stack horrible performances. If he comes on the first game and scores a goal or 2, you're in business.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not to disagree, because I mean, I don't really want to play it either, but it does seem like from watching Belgium, the entire strategy is just get the ball to the top.
Yeah, get it to him.
With Lukaku. So I mean, against teams that are kind of going to pack it in down there, I mean, I don't know what their alternative strategy is going to be. So I mean, he's going to have plenty of looks. I don't really like goals that much in that group, which is probably my main issue, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Who are you taking? I assume it's going to be Mbappe in theory.
For me?
Yeah.
I don't know if I love Mbappe because I feel like Giroud kind of steals a lot of goals, a lot of like garbage, like tap-ins, a lot of like Mbappe does all the work, throws the ball in the middle, and Giroud gets on the end of it. Dude, I'm trying to look at some of these names towards the bottom. I'm going to be honest. I really don't hate Memphis Depay with Gakpo and Xavi Simons feeding him. Like Gakpo on Liverpool, dude, he was an awesome facilitator. I feel like Depay is going to be the number one. I don't see him getting subbed off a lot. I see them going very deep. I think looking higher up the list, I'd stay away from Kai Havertz. He played a false 9 for Arsenal and wasn't that clinical in front of the net. And especially with Fulkrug being up there too, I don't know how they're going to play those two together or who's going to get the start, who's going to get subbed off. I don't mind targeting like there's some weird names up there, dude.
There are
weird names. Like, dude, Jude is playing in a position where he could get subbed off a lot for Cole Palmer because I don't see Cole Palmer coming in for Saka a lot. Like, I think they found out for Chelsea, Cole Palmer plays that center attacking mid role so well, and that's where Jude's going to be. So where do you put Cole Palmer? Because Cole Palmer, like, is an auto goal. For some reason, whenever he comes in, he scores. I know you don't want to take Jude out, but if you take Jude for a golden boot and he's getting subbed out a lot in the group stages for a guy like Cole Palmer when England is up, I feel like that's just a waste of plus 2,000.
Yeah, it could be if it ends up playing up like that. I don't know. I don't really like care to get too cute with it, to be honest, because there's a lot of guys that I think I have like red flags on for some reason. Like I would love to take a Germany guy, but I don't think they're going to be dominant in this tournament with, offensive prowess. And Kai's been doing Kai things. He's not really the guy I trust anyway. Like I like Fulkrug a lot more than Kai Havertz in this tournament, to be honest with you. But I don't know. This is a weird board. I wouldn't
Such
even.
a weird board. Like why? Like I know Antoine Griezmann is still the guy, but like him being up there for a golden boot at those odds just seems absurd.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about lining it up with how we feel about these games, like even though I'm kind of scared now because it got bumped down on Prize Picks, but Ronaldo, PK taker, and just
he could be an
open group, dude.
He could be
tough,
dunk, dude. Especially after Messi won the World Cup, dude. He's on revenge.
It could be revenge for. That's the narrative. That could be the narrative right there.
I don't hate Ronaldo. I don't hate Depay. And I'll be honest, if you want someone with a lot of chalk, I don't hate Harry Kane either, dude. The penalty taker for England. I mean, he's never going to get subbed off. They're not going to put fucking Ivan Toney in there in a big game.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just like I don't know. I think they're going to be a lot of stalemates in the group stage for a while, which is why I just don't care to go to England.
I agree.
But
I don't want to take an England guy to be the fucking golden boot. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, you really can't. But let's talk about the season squares or the Euro season squares, whatever it's called.
Do you want my favorite one?
Give me your donks.
Here's all I'm saying. I got one that I'm willing to put my meat on the table for. Actually, two. They're both on England, so I apologize.
Oh, GG.
Bukayo Saka is minus 180 to score 2 goals on the books. And he's up for 1.5. I love the position he's in on this England side. They've clearly chosen him over Phil Foden on that right-hand side to be able to cut in and score with that left foot because that's what he did on Arsenal. He tooled on teams all year in the Premier League. I feel like he's in a very weak group. You're telling me all I need is 2 goals out of him for the entire tournament. And he's a guy that, by the way, I feel like when things aren't going right, you might go to him for a little creativity, a little chance opportunity. So I love his 1.5 goals. Also thinking about what the book is telling you at minus 180. It's almost minus 200 to get him at 2 goals for the tournament. I love Phil Foden, more than 1.5 assists. Playing a lefty on the right-hand side or a lefty on the left-hand side just tells me that they're going to commit to him being a chance creator from whipping in crosses, especially with a big target like Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. If they get him involved in the box as well, those are 2 massive bodies. And Phil Foden being on that left-hand side, I don't see him shooting very often. I think a lot of the time it's going to be what England does best. It's going to start with Saka. They're going to come to Trent. Trent's going to give it to Gallagher. Gallagher's going to go to Foden. Foden's going to beat a man, drive down deep, and cross one in. And I like Harry Kane to get on the end of at least one, maybe 2 of them, hopefully 2 of them. But I just love the opportunity with Phil Foden on that left-hand side. Literally all they're going to ask him to do is create chances. And I think, which is why I like Saka, they're going to ask him to score goals on that right-hand side. I think they're going to ask Phil to create and Saka to score. And I love those 2 squares together. Not that you can put them in the same entry, but those are my 2 favorite.
I don't hate that. The Foden angle is kind of speaking to me.
Dude, I love that so much.
I could be so in on that.
And also, you also think too, right? Like, let's say they do want to make some substitutions. Phil Foden also plays his best football for Man City in the middle. So I could totally see a scenario where England brings on a winger, whether it be Cole Palmer, whether it be, I'm blanking on another possible name. They might move Phil into the middle. right? Like you could see them taking out Conor Gallagher, putting Phil in the middle and putting Tony up top. And now you got two strikers up top if you're, drawn 1-1. And now Phil Foden has to create in the middle. Like I just love 2 assists. Like that just feels like a great spot for him coming into this tournament.
Sure. And you're definitely a lot more tapped in on the prize pick square and prop side of things than I am as far as soccer goes. But talk me through Germany a little bit. So I'm definitely not even looking Kai Havertz's way, but a Musiala or a Fulkrug could speak to me.
But I think you might have to look Kai Havertz's way for goals less than, dude. I just feel like what he plays for Arsenal, right? Which I feel like a lot of these international managers, they take what you do really good in your club side, they try to fit it in. Kai Havertz almost just won the Premier League for Arsenal playing a false 9, which is what Roberto Firmino played for Liverpool, which basically you are the facilitator to your 2 wingers, which is why Saka had such a great year and why guys like Trossard and whoever else played on that left for Arsenal had a great year. He's not a goal scorer. He's not. He's not quick. He's tall. He's big. He can hold the ball up, and he's a phenomenal passer. And if Germany commits to playing him that false 9, I don't see him getting 3 or 4 goals, especially with the way you're telling me that Germany's going to play. The chance creation and goal scoring is going to come from a guy like Musiala. It's going to come from a guy like Fulkrug, who might get subbed on for Havertz if they go down 1, and you can't play a guy that just loves to sit back and hold the ball up.
Yeah, my one concern about just actually pushing a button, fading him, is that a lot of the reason why I like Germany so much is because of the tactical stuff. They are so versatile. So like the second they need to press or the second they're getting a look they don't like, they completely change shape. Like I've seen it 17 different times in the lead up, which is that would be my one concern, because when they do get in that mode, like we saw it, I think in their last just Friday, like in their last friendly against like Greece, they changed shape immediately, and it was immediately feed Kai Havertz every second you have from the midfield. So like that's my one concern, because like they can flip the switch pretty easily, but I do still like a Musiala probably a little more.
Which to your point as well, like also if you have Germany going deep to win it all, Kai Havertz is going to need 3 or 4 goals for the entire tournament. So probably not a great fade spot, especially if you're on Germany. Dude, I'm looking at these combos. I don't really love any of them.
Yeah, they're not fantastic. I mean, the one that I wouldn't mind is the De Bruyne Bruno Fernandes 8 goal and assists.
I would love that.
That's just partially because I want Bruno Fernandes in there, and I was taking a square solo, but De Bruyne is going to be dishing. He's going to need to, especially in that group, I think. Dishing. So I mean, that's the one combo that I guess really caught my eye. All the rest of them are just way too corp for me.
Dishing, dude.
Yeah.
I think also my other favorite that we looked at as well, just like a weird square. I don't know why it's up, but it feels like kind of a BTL square. I don't know. Let me pitch it to you and tell me what you think. Rasmus Højlund being up for 1.5 goals. I assume Denmark's going to advance. I don't understand why he's up out of everyone they could have put up in this tournament to not have bigger names. But for some reason, Rasmus Højlund, who's never played in an international tournament, that's the 18-year-old star boy for Man U that is going into an international tournament that I think is going to decide whether or not Man U splashes on a big striker, is up for 1.5 goals when we don't even know if he's going to be the starter, because Yusuf Poulsen has been starting for Denmark up top. I don't know if he's up here just because Man U is the Man U recognition. It could be like a Fogel goal for the Oilers where it's like, why wouldn't you just take this kid's less than? But I'm almost inclined to take his more than, because to put a kid like this up that has done nothing historically in any national team tournament for a Denmark team that's in a group that could score some goals, and a kid that has started for Man U towards the end of the season, like he might just get 2. And if Denmark gets out, he might get another one. Like he's a big body. He's a big boy that you can throw crosses into. He can hold up play. He can put a defender on his back, turn and shoot. Like I don't hate his more than 1.5 goals, because I don't know why the fuck he'd be up here.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, I definitely think he could get a couple goals against anyone not named England, because like Serbia is going to make that a game that he wants to play in. I think Slovenia is going to do just the same. I think they played in a friendly or in qualifying, and he scored that game too. I feel like I read that. Yeah, that's a weird square.
I also wouldn't, dude. I don't know if he might get a goal against England though, because you think about historically, who does he play against every week?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
He's seen John Stone. He's seen Trent. He's seen Nathan Ake. He's seen Kyle Walker. Like he's seen all these guys.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's a good point.
That was one of the last squares that I saw that I was like, this is fucking super weird. I wanted to take Gakpo, but I still don't know how Netherlands is going to play. I agree with you. I don't think they're a team that's going to put up a lot of goals, but him being on that left-hand side where I assume they're going to put him, I mean, that's what he did for Liverpool, and he buckets every chance he gets. He's a great finisher. But I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at your Bruno Kevin square. I fucking love that.
The Bruno Kevin square could be a donk.
Dude, a donk, dude.
A literal donk.
A dunk. I also love Ronaldo 2.5. He's plus 130 to score 4 goals. So I mean so you're probably getting what, -1 something to get 3.
Yeah, I will say every time I bet against a line move knowingly on Prize Picks, it's just always cake.
Yeah, I don't disagree with
Like
that.
when the book line is so ahead of it, and you're like, oh, what they bump it down for? It doesn't even make sense. It's probably gonna go back up, and immediate cake. And this
I
was
don't disagree with you.
that 3-liter yesterday, and as you were talking about it this morning, I looked at it and I was like, hold on,
Moose.
2.5.
Moose.
I bet, but I'm still down to ride it though because of what I think that group is going to be.
I agree. Josh loves Olivier Giroud 1.5 goals. He's just a garbage merchant.
Swan song too. He's retiring from national team after this Euros. I'm down to put that in.
Yep.
Trent said so. Fade that.
Are you gonna talk baseball?
Yeah, we're gonna circle back. You got Trent in here.
Can I stay up with you and Trent? I kind of want some baseball milk.
Yeah, let's do it. Trent, come up here, man. Or Goots, pull him up. What's good? You got some whales for today or what?
No, not yet. I've got a 4-man that I'm sweating right now. Gunner is already at 8 fantasy. I need 1 more point, and then I need Bobby fantasy, and then crochet outs with steel fantasy from Lauren.
When are you just gonna lock in, man? Get the lab.
What you laughing at, dude? We're almost 1 leg down.
I just need you to lock in and get in the fucking lab. Like, where are the straight bets for today, man? Surge stream starting in 20 minutes. You're just going to get spoon fed on a short slate. You're not locked in.
That's the point of the surge stream, bro. I get spoon fed.
You just gotta go.
I'm nuking the over in the hockey game with Cheliard. Absolutely.
I did hear about that. I'm in on that.
But straight bet MLB whales, that shit has been hitting for me, man.
You want to join me on the over in the Dodgers game?
More than down.
More than down. I'm so in on that. Mike, if you want to tail in over today, it's probably that
one. My bing bong lay hit yesterday, which was Mets Yankees. Why don't I just do it again today? Can you talk me off either?
Definitely not talking you off the Mets.
Let me talk you off the Yanks for a sec. You know that dude Cash Out King?
I'm all in on the Yankees now. What'd you say? Go ahead.
You know that dude Cash Out King that texted me once in a blue moon, Jovan?
Yeah.
Legit 30 seconds ago. Haven't heard from this guy in months. Listen up, champ. I assure you, on every god that's ever existed, the Yankees win today easy.
Is that talking me off or in? Is this guy sharp or bad?
He's a fucking buzzo, dude.
Yeah, GG's. GG's.
Yeah, that's my take on that game.
I mean, a four-game sweep where they've been dominant a majority of the series, really all 3 games. But if you want a box score watch, you'll say 2. That's hard. It's hard to go for a 4th, especially when you have Moose Nestor pitching on the road. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I think it's an over, dude.
Could be an over. I would have loved if that one didn't end up hitting yesterday, but it was dead for a couple innings. Then it summoned back. It's probably going to be some more runs. I did take Nelly Velasquez over a run.
Yeah, I tailed that with fucking Uzi LBs.
Jovan, can I read you my MLB card and then you tell me what you like and don't like on it?
Read it.
I really like the Phillies at a short line, but I think the Red Sox are now favored on my offshore, which makes me really, really scared because
weird.
I feel like it's moving against them, and the Red Sox are a team that when I bet against them at a short line, for whatever reason, they come out and Devers hits like 4 ding-dongs, and I'm in moose shit.
Sure.
The Athletics plus 1.5 against the Twins. It's just the most profitable bet in baseball, and I just love it in this spot especially. The bounce back I mean, obviously, I'm on the Mets as well. And the last play was the bounce back after the Diamondbacks got their shit kicked in by the Angels, -1.5.
I can kind of get down with that, and I can definitely get down with the Mets. I don't know if I like the A's today. I think the A's probably get their shit clapped.
You think
But-
today's the day where they just get moose shit on? Because I know they're due to get clapped up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they've been good. They're on like
No.
a pretty decent losing streak, but they've been keeping games relatively close for a majority of like the losing streak. But I don't know. Joe Ryan's not a guy that I really ever trust in a blowout because he can strike out 15, but he gives up a couple Turks. I just don't know if the A's are the team to do that. So that's I don't know. I wouldn't feel great about the A's.
Okay.
But
All
I know you're gonna take it anyway. It's your wagon.
Keep going. I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, but I do really like the Mets. I'm on their team total. I think
Let's
they
fucking go, dude. That's all I need.
Bust.
That's all I needed to hear. That's it.
I think they bust Munoz today. Absolutely bust on him. That could be like a sneaky. I don't know if he has any prize pick squares up anymore, but if you want to take your goat Lindor, it's probably a good idea.
Dude, I was
Thank you.
thinking him too, Javon.
Yeah, the problem is I think the only normal square he had up was a run square that I was going to put on my sharp report, but it turned from a regular square to a goblin. But whenever he's like -130 like he is today or higher, it's literally printing auto green.
I love his 2.5 demon hit runs RBIs.
That could be a donkey, an absolute donkey. I guess the one problem is this guy walks a shit ton of guys. It's like he might walk and score and I don't know, bust, but end up with 2. One concern, but I think he splooges. I think the whole team splooges.
Okay, I'm down. Keep going. Keep going. I'm down.
I'm in on that. Trent, do you have any whales in these late games? Taking your Angels? Koenig?
No, I got no whales for you, man. Sorry.
Not even any Dodgers?
I heard you talk about the over, like that over, but Dodgers -200. I'm not fucking taking that. Run line could be a whale, but they kind of slipped the soul out of me last night, getting thrown out at home. Fuck are we doing?
What about squares, man? Pick your goat.
I saw Phil's drop a nug on Mookie. Feel like it's been a while since I've read with Mookie. Freddie's been goated. He's been getting his hits. He keeps getting walked, bro. They're scared to pitch to him.
Yeah, they don't want to pitch to Freddie. He's been dialed, dude. Been fucking dialed. Man.
He gets walked like 3 times a game.
It's just a sign of some good ABs.
What?
Just a sign of some good ABs, man.
Yeah, no, he's been having great ABs.
Yeah.
He also just got on his podcast and talked about how he thinks Micah Parsons would get 0 hits. Might be a loading Mookie game after talking shit.
Could be. I'm down to take Mookie. I like Mookie.
Wow.
Dude, that was the stupidest take ever, bro.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is brain dead, dude.
He wouldn't get 1 hit.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he would be in.
He said to the bat 200, dude. I fucking bet.
Literally fucking bad. He's about to get. I would love to see him sit on a 103-mile-an-hour sinker from Paul Skeens, man. I'd love to see it.
Dude, I think if Micah Parsons had to stand in the box against Paul Skeens, he would shit his shirt.
No
He
way,
would,
dude. Fuck.
No way he had a bunt single, dude.
Saw his stupid ass SGP, man. I fucking took Riley Green.
Well, let's craft a slip, a little collab slip, real quick.
You guys cook. I'm gonna listen.
Collab slip for MLB, like night games or what?
For everything left. I think we probably start from the bottom up. I assume we're putting Mookie in there.
I just dropped 400. Just to keep in mind, maybe to take off your radars. I just dropped 400 on Mookie Demon hit run RBI and Lindor Demon hit run RBI 2-piece pop.
Wow, that could be fucking.
The thing is, I think that hits.
That actually might smack, dude. Not even
I
joking.
think that
I put
hits.
400 on that. So just, you might want to take it out. You might want to not include them, but I'm just telling you what I did.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like I would probably say Mookie. Mike, you would probably go Lindor.
Yeah.
And then I'd get the third piece here.
Do you
I
not?
gotta be honest. Like I genuinely think it's gonna sound crazy. If you want to make a slip of all goats, I have literally 0 problem taking Aaron Judge again.
Wow.
I would not be shocked if you just look up and he has 2 home runs by the 4th.
Javon is crazy.
It's crazy.
Why did
But with
people
the-
still pitch to him, bro? I don't get it.
I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I really don't. And they
Javon, that's
still do.
fucking crazy, Eddie. I've never heard you say words like that in my life, dude.
It's insane. I mean, I've been taking them a lot more than usual just because I have to use brain. You got to lock in what's going to win. And in that game, like I love the Nelly run, sure, but for making a goat slip, if they pitch to him, I mean, Aaron Judge is going to hit 2 tanks. I did see he was at 3.5 hit run RBI. It's just crazy. Crazy. I like normal odds too.
Sucks they don't have Lindor normal bullshit squares.
I know. I wanted to lock that in. It's actually crazy. Legitimately crazy. But that's Moose. Let's see, what do they have? Maybe it's just a three-piece Demon Geyser is the answer.
Yeah.
That could be it.
All hit run RBIs.
Yeah, just might be.
What do you like Judge fantasies?
I mean, if we're making a Demon Geyser, just play the 3.5 hit run RBI in there.
What's your favorite square on today's board?
Favorite square on today's board? I do like that Nelly run. Did like Lindor a lot. I wonder if they put up stuff for Munoz yet. Just himself, so I could fade him.
Have they put anything up for Munoz?
No, they didn't. I mean, they still have a Demon 3.5 earned runs allowed, which I think is air, but could be the difference. Flash a sharp report real quick, Goots. People are asking.
I had a weird dream about Devers over the monster.
Oh my god.
Oh, I did forget about this square too. Lorenzen hits allowed. Could be W stack
Mm.
with Mookie.
Wow, that could be a W stack.
That could be a W stack right there. If you want a regular square, I guess that's probably the one.
Do you think Lorenzen's going to get touched up today?
Yeah, and they have to keep him in for a while too because their pitchers the last 2 days haven't gotten out of the 4th inning.
Javon, this looks like my card.
It's
That
pretty
dog
close.
is like a Mikey.
Pretty close.
This is the most Mikey card of all time.
Minus Nelson Velasquez. It is a very
Yeah.
Mikey Over's card.
Yeah. Minus Velasquez. Well, I'm just saying, there's just the book plays, not the prize pick squares.
Yeah, the book plays is very Mikey Overs. But
That's so good. I love
you only got a handful of games today. You got to do some shit. Oh,
That's
there
a
comes
3-0
Bookit with
card.
Prime. Michael Lorenzen will deal. I bet. Yeah,
Primer, dude.
he ain't dealing, man. First, we stepped into the stream, started BTL. First message, first comment I see is the Mavs are going to make history. Come back from 3-0 from Primer, man.
Ish.
We just gotta unlatch tonsils, bro.
I just can't believe the Bucks are letting both favorites win the finals. That's just like so annoying.
Yeah, you could have had the season plus chick last night, brother. You know how long I've waited to say that to you specifically.
What, one game out of a championship series? That's how long you've waited to say that?
Yeah.
You could have gotten. No, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
To be fair, you also could have gotten PMC under 1.5 touchdowns.
Bruh. Just, bruh. Stop it, dude. I'm not ready for that.
Bro. God damn it, man.
Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT?
Not ready for football yet, dude. It's too sensitive a subject.
Dude,
Oh my
you gotta start thinking about go whales at this hour, man. It's dog days of summer. It's when you're just lying around looking at squares.
Dude, saying football is still too sensitive a topic when we've passed OTAs is insane.
That is actually wild.
It's too soon, dude.
Wild, bro.
Am I locking this 3-piece in or what, dude?
Yeah. For what's your donkey square, Mookie?
Yeah, Mookie, Lindor, Judge.
Demon piece?
I feel like we might need one more leg.
It's 3 demons.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3 demons. What do you mean you need one more leg?
it's crazy. That shit's not even 10x, bro.
How is that not 10x?
Yeah, I don't even know, man. What Lindor did? Oh, Heron RBI is up here. And then Judge. That's a crazy fucking lie. Crazy lie.
Krabs
I
would be
locked in
so
Judge
pissed right
with
now.
a Nelson run because I was too premature locking in the 2-piece. I didn't think you guys were going to like the 2-piece.
It's a W game stack, though.
All right, I need Gunner to come through for me right here, Goots. Come on, man.
Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah. New Mookie pitcher on PP. Could be locked, fellas. Could be so locked.
You got a new pick?
Yeah, look at it. He's smiling.
Cheesing and shit. Yeah, I'm down. I'm locking.
Oh, here you go. Gunner at plate. Oh, it's third inning still. No way you're bitching in third inning, man.
I'm not bitching, man. I just need him to do something. Come on, SBR. Please, man. How bad do you want it?
Riley Green stock has been soaring lately.
All right, I'm locking in that 3-piece.
Yeah, let's lock that in.
Just give me a walk, Goots.
Yeah, if the hitter does not cash in the first, Trent moves on. It's a fact. Literal fact.
Dude, Fields, he literally got a single and stole. I couldn't have asked for much more.
Yeah, you're still moving on, man. I guarantee you move on if he doesn't get on base here.
Oh, no, if he doesn't, I'm actually for sure moving on. What do you think about Phillies or Sox in that game?
Kind of like the Sox. I think I'm more on the over, though, because that total being at 8.5 with Hal Canola pitching is wild.
Ooh.
And GG Riley Green.
No. Dude, SBR has got to hang him up.
SBR in this economy, man.
It's crazy, dude.
Trent, what do you think the quickest you've ever moved on from a bet was?
It's about to be Gunnar Henderson here.
Yeah,
for sure is Gunnar Henderson, dude.
there you go. I have for sure heard Trent say I'm chalking it after 1 out in the game. Not even exaggerating. Turn on the game in the fucking living room. Yeah, he watches the Dodgers game as Dodgers -1.5. Mookie flies out to the warning track first AB. Yeah, I'm chalking it out.
Yeah, moving on.
Every time. But
No,
all
it's
right, let's get to
Tanner
the squad rod.
Tanner
Yeah, Randall H.
gave up one base runner first at bat. Moved on.
Yeah, moved on, man. Moved on. Well, Mike, appreciate you hopping on, talking
Yeah,
some
thanks for
Euros,
having me.
talking some ball. Trent, ready to lock in for the search stream. Jeej, run that shit, Goots. Squad ride time. Might be dialed. Might be so dialed. All right,
I don't know how to
Flash.
remove myself.
I think it's gonna do it. There you go. Goots, might as well put up sharp report while we're looking at it. Because I do want to put my plays in there. We don't really have a second opinion now, so it might just be all that for the most part. I like this Rangers Dodgers over, still at 9. Don't care. I think that's the number that it's pretty much at right now. Goots, you can double check me if so. Didn't really talk too much about the Oilers, but we feel like we have a pretty good grasp on why
Still
we're
at
taking
9.
them. Yeah, still a 9. So yeah, put the 9 in there. I really do like that Mets team total as well. A little bit juicier now, like -135, but I think they're destroying Roderick Munoz. So I probably like them in that order. Dodgers over, Mets team total, then the Oilers ML. So that would be my 3.
4.5 Mets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we can probably just go with those 3.
You can take O's live in there.
Those live squad ride.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be rad, man.
Might be
That would
air.
be rad. But yeah, roll a pull with those 3.
Run those 3.
Yeah, favorite plays in the card by quite a bit. Don't want to get cute and force on a Thursday short slate. Yeah, Mook, that might fucking pay, brother. 2.5 earned runs. Lorenzen hits allowed. That could be so air, dude.
Look at that pretty ass park. Beautiful place.
Park's getting fucking shut out right now, man. What Judge Square? We took the Demon 3.5 error on RBI, but fuck Aaron Judge, period. But he's probably hitting 2 nukes today, man.
Thanks, Goots.
GG.
Fuck
Wow,
now.
Trent POD. Bases cocked for Henry Malloy. Imagine
Come on.
just Henry Malloy hits a gag, bro. Did you actually lock that into an entry?
Yes, dude.
That's hilarious, bro.
With
Actually,
what's his name? Run.
Velasquez. That could be a donkey. Be an absolute donkey, but
It's gonna have to hit right here.
yeah, he's gonna need it. If you don't get it right here, this is the one time you probably can't move on pretty early. So this is every chance you're gonna get. Kish, man. That do not go over birdies. Trent probably knows.
No.
Cheech. Yeah, that's wretched. I'm gonna need Josh to lock in, man. I'm gonna start tailing. Start getting locked in. Looks like we're not even gonna have a close vote on this one. Maybe not. Halfway there. A lot of love for the Rangers Dodgers over, which I have zero problem with it. Wow. Blue Book boost. You got Velasquez boosted. That's huge. It's huge. Love that. Maybe the Oilers are gonna be him on, but I don't think so. Do we not like Witt today? Yeah, I mean I like all the Royals righties today. It's just it's like a Trent auto piece. Put in something like that. But the Velasquez run was just screaming it to me. But yeah, looks like we're gonna go with this Rangers Dodgers over, which is huge. What would Krabs have as a POD today? I honestly couldn't tell you. Really couldn't tell you. He's at the beach. This is like a scheduled. He did like a strategic scheduled 2 off days during the week. He's just coming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So he'll be back tomorrow. But Tuesday, Thursday was cake. Need some off time. He's been pretty locked in. So W Krabs. Do I like Cubs today? Yeah, a little bit. Don't really care for the Rays. Maintenance days, PTO, sure. What was the other Sharp Report squares? 2 Sharp Report squares. Nelson Velasquez run, which is starting up here soon, and Michael Lorenzen hits allowed.
Okay.
Thanks, Trent. Sharp square. But yeah, squad ride today. Rangers, Dodgers, over 9. Lorenzen, Moose Fest, Grove / Yarborough. Moose Fest. Appreciate you guys tapping in today. Appreciate Mikey and Trent for coming on too. Pick up the slack. Let's have a day. Send you over to Surge Stream. Let's get into a squad ride winner, just like the Nats last night. W's, roll that shit.